Why do you teach yoga? What do you want to give your students? We have to think of that. Like we have to see the bigger picture. Like it's not just like, okay, I will give them some sun salutes, triangle, shavasana. I'll say namaste in the beginning, namaste at the back, and I'll make sure I'll quote some big people, and I will look like a big yogi. Like so that's okay. That's a good place to start. But later we have to say, okay, what do I really want to give to my students? Okay, and then you can see, what do I want? I want to make my identity much more bigger. My identity, I've trapped it into such limited ideas, and it feels insecure all the time. If we can expand our identity, if we can really expand the identity, it won't be so shaken by few things. Sometimes our identity is revolving around one personality, revolving around one position. It is so shaky. All the time we can feel miserable, we can feel unwanted, and mind will exaggerate stories, all of which will be fully wrong, but we'll believe it and we'll be miserable. Dukkha. Okay? But this sukha is not something to be achieved. Sukha is all the time with us. Okay? This awareness which is observing, that ease of being, that sukhata, is right now here. Okay? So that is the starting. Okay? So we want that, and that's what we want our students to have. We want skillful choices which will connect us, which will expand our identity. Okay? So first is ground into what I am now. Look into that. See that these are beliefs. Somehow you are empowering these beliefs and forming an identity on that. See that first. And then second is the tanu karanam, where you start to soften. Okay? Soften clinging to these limiting beliefs. Softening for me, it is more like desensitization. We are extremely sensitive to certain beliefs. And as soon as that comes up, like, oh, nobody is loyal to me, or that and this, or so many, we are so sensitive to certain thoughts, certain perceptions which come up, and we get stuck right there. Okay? So, Tanu Karanam is a second phase where we practice desensitization. Okay? We stop being so sensitive to certain ideas, to certain thoughts which come up, and we start to focus more on soft exhalations. Okay, exhalations. So exhalations embody that idea of letting go, of softening. Okay, so that's the second principle. Tanu karanam. Tanu meaning thin. So you connect to this concept of thinning by letting go of these of unskillful things we are holding on. We are keeping them tied to this identity, and we are just softening and softening. And then in the second principle itself, exhalation is the softening, letting go part. And then we have the KCC inhales, in each session. This action, that is an expanding heart. And that is almost like when you recognize that there is a underlying peace and ease of being, which is right now with all of us. And that is the eternal now. That underlying peace of being and underlying resourcefulness, presence, whichever way you want to call it, it is here right now. At any point of time, whatever the circumstance, this peace of being is here now. We have to recognize that. So these are roughly the three things which form up these first two principles. Okay? So you have to be clear about that. Any questions on this? Basically, atha, grounding, now, and into the body, and then into the identity. Okay? And then looking there. And identity is basically beliefs. And you will see which are the unskillful beliefs, which are the dukkha creating beliefs, and we have the choice to focus on something more skillful. So that is the second principle. You soften the unskillful things which is playing over and over and over. So you take the decision. Mind is your instrument. You hold the reins. You tell it where to go. And the third one is recognizing that this state we are talking about, this sukha, this ease and peace and freedom, everything is in this atha, in this moment. Okay. So these are the three things we start off.